What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's YouTube video. Today's gonna be a little bit of a different video. I'm just gonna sit down and talk to you guys because as of today, September 18th, 2025, I'm officially 1 year out, or I guess 1 year ago today, I had my inguinal hernia surgery. So I actually just pulled it up, funny enough, a document. I see my pre-op instructions right there. Surgery date and time, 9/18/24 at 12:30 p.m. So exactly 1 year ago today, I had my inguinal hernia surgery. So I'm going to be talking about my experience a year later, because that video I made about getting surgery, my 1 week, 2 week, and kind of like post-op recovery, those videos are still getting lots of comments about people being scared of having surgery, wondering how I'm feeling now, just getting lots of comments and traction. So I figured this would kind of be a good update 1 year later, talk about my experience, what I remember, and also have some notes over here as well as my body weight scale, kind of like basically creating a comeback, right? Because I did have to take about I ended up taking about 4 months off from all kind of lifting and training, and now I do feel like I'm back like it was before, if not even bigger and stronger. So first off, surgery was 1 year ago. I was weighing in right around 100, looks like 165 pounds. And I'll go ahead and actually, I'll screenshot this and throw this up in the video too, because I use a app called Happy Scale to track my weight over time. And then post-surgery, looks my weight did come down a little bit. And although I was sedentary, I also was not able to train, so I assume I probably lost a little bit of muscle mass after 3 months, or I think it ended up being 4 months of no training. And then I eventually, basically my goal was to have the surgery, and then I had a trip planned to go to Japan for 2 weeks with some friends and my brother. So that was the big thing I wanted to be okay for, right? So all of my recovery from the rest of September, October into November, we went on vacation or to Japan in late November. The entire first 3 months post surgery, we're all focused on just getting back to the ability to travel, carry suitcases, and be okay going to Japan, going to a foreign country without any complications. So I did not rush the process at all. I did not get back into the gym until after Japan. So my first 3 months were no gym time, slowly getting back to my 10,000 steps. Probably took me about, I think I got back to 10,000 steps in a week, but I actually started to have some complications, as in just like a little more abdominal pain, a little bit more discomfort. I actually pulled back on that, went kind of more back to, I would say, more bed rest and very minimal walking. And I would say about a month later, I felt okay and was able to kind of eat whatever I wanted, use the restroom okay, laugh and not feel pain, use my abdominal region to actually get up. Because the thing I remember the most was just constant pressure throughout my entire abdominal area, because they actually did a robotic, and that was another question I got. I had a robotic inguinal hernia net surgery repair. So they went in with 3 robot arms. Actually, you guys can see here, I actually have the scars still. So there's like one right there. There's one right on the top of my belly button, so it's kind of blends in. And then one right there. So that's the only scars that I still have from the surgery. So some people are scared of that. Honestly, I don't care at all. Like, that does not bother me in the slightest that there's 3 or 2 little dots on the side of my abs. They're very faint. I did not go in the sun, so it's not like they got burnt and anything. The skin's different. I don't even think about them. I don't even notice them half the time. So not a major concern. I know some people do get like bigger incisions done. I know that could be something, but I just kind of like, yeah, like life happens, and that's proof that life does happen. I'm okay and I can make it through. So the thing I remember the most was the discomfort, the abdominal region, the how much it hurt to use the restroom, to try to sit up out of bed, to laugh, things like that hurt for a very long time. I would have to like use my hands to like maneuver myself out of chairs. I have to like lift myself up with my shoulders. I couldn't really like just pick myself up normally. And that was probably at least a month before I started to feel pretty comfortable like sitting upright in a chair. I remember going to my mom's birthday dinner, and her birthday is September 30th. So about 2 weeks post-op. And I remember I couldn't really sit at the restaurant comfortably because the seats were so upright. I had to like lean back and kind of like constantly uncomfortable. So that's kind of what I vividly remember. And then obviously, like I said, I did not go back to the gym until well into the, let's say, I think 3.5 months post-surgery. And I actually started what I call my rebuild phase. So if I actually go to YouTube, I can see a good timeline there as well. If you guys are interested how I kind of started to train again, the rebuild series on my YouTube channel, that kind of outlines that entire process of me getting back into the gym. So if I go ahead and look at some of my old videos here, it looks like, so post-Japan, we can see I started a rebuild series. So essentially after Japan, I started to get back in the gym, try to build more muscle, gain back some of the muscle mass and strength I had lost, but also took it very easy. I was not doing any sort of free weights, no squats, no deadlifts, no ab movements. I was just starting with the basics of machine machine work. So you can see some of these videos back here. Once again, you guys can go check out my channel, like the rebuild series. I started the rebuild series on, let's see, 8 months ago. So yeah, solid 4 months post-surgery, since it's been 12 months from now, or 12 months ago. So yeah, that looks like I started that back in, yeah, more so honestly like late December, early January. Started training again, rebuild series, lots of machines. I have information about that. The 4-day split I was running was a push, pull, legs, upper, lower. So it was a 5-day split. I kind of went through all that, and yeah, slowly as I became more comfortable, I slowly added in more and more compound movements, more and more, I would say, freestanding movements, because like I said, at first I was only doing machines, I was only doing things that were very stable, didn't require a lot of my core to be active, because I was still kind of concerned about just overexerting myself and having any sort of complications of ripping the insertion site, getting another hernia, or having any complications. So I will say I leaned on the safe side, or the more hesitant side, to increase my weight too quickly or get back into things like squat, bench, deadlift, very heavy, that I think would cause more abdominal pressure than I wanted. And then you guys can kind of see on Happy Scale, I slowly increased my weight from like November, December, January, February into March. I slowly gained, looks like about 10, well, a little under 10 pounds, maybe. Actually, yeah, about 10 pounds. So that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, about 5 months of building, about 2 pounds of weight gain per month, building back up. And then in March, I made the transition to a fat loss phase. So by the time March rolled around, I don't really remember, probably like starting in February or March, not really thinking about my hernia too much, right? It wasn't a thought when I went to the gym. It wasn't a thought at home. It wasn't something I felt like, oh, I need to be really careful. And now I don't even think about it at all. 1 year later, I am doing some of the heaviest squatting I've done. I'm trying to get up to a really heavy bench press again. I'm even doing some RDLs, right? I haven't done deadlifts in a while, but I also wasn't really doing deadlifts before my hernia. So I've been doing some heavy RDLs, really focusing on bracing my core again. So right now, and doing a lot of ab training too. That's one thing I remember putting off until the new year was ab training. But now I would say probably 4 or 5 months post-surgery, maybe close to 6 months, I was starting to reintroduce things like a back squat, like a deadlift, like a bench press that was having a little more abdominal pressure and required a little more stability of my core. And then I started to add in ab exercises probably about 6 months in. I would have to double check exactly, like watching my old rebuild videos, but it looks like about 6 months ago, I was doing some training at a new gym, doing some ab exercises in that more so that building phase 2. Margaret's looking at my watch reflection. So yeah, like I said, the rebuild series is there for you guys that are looking to kind of get back into training post hernia surgery. And I did cut down then throughout March, April, May, June into July, cut back down to honestly like my my pre-surgery weight of around 165, and I felt like I was looking really, really good. And then since then, I've been slowly increasing my weight in this kind of a lean building phase I'm in right now. And like I said, a year later, I have absolutely no complications. I don't think about it. It doesn't pull me back from training. It doesn't hold me back for ab training or in my compound movements. I feel like I'm stronger than I ever have been. I feel like I might have the best look I have ever had, aside from the bodybuilding prep that I did, but that was like a scary level of leanness, and this is more of a very healthy body fat composition. I'll throw up maybe some posing from my yesterday's video I just filmed about training, so I'll throw up that video so you guys can see like how I'm looking right now. I think this is one of my best looks to date. I feel like I have great muscle mass. I have a pretty low body fat percentage. I'm really enjoying life. I don't have any restrictions in terms of like athletic movements either. Like I golf. I also did not golf for a little while, about 6 months post-surgery, because of that dynamic movement of swinging across and having a lot of tension in the core and midsection. So I had to stop golfing for a while. But now I can golf, play pickleball, sand volleyball, work out, do anything I want. And the only thing, like I said, are just these 2 little dots on my midsection, right? Just the 2 little dots there and there. That's the only thing that I think about as far as my surgery, or I'm reminded. I don't feel like restricted, limited at all. I will say the only thing, like now that I know what a hernia is, I'm kind of scared if I ever have like groin pain, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have another hernia, and normally it just ends up being like a tight hip from squatting or something like that. But I didn't even know what a hernia was until I actually had my girlfriend, who's a PA, diagnose me with a hernia, funny enough, while we were on vacation of all things. And then I came home and got a consultation. My dad confirmed it, had a surgeon, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you think you have a hernia, definitely recommend getting checked out. Yes, it'll have a little bit of a setback, but I think they're a lot more common than I ever thought. Like I never heard of them in my entire life. And then I realized, oh wow, like apparently 25% of guys at some point in their life will get a hernia. Some will have multiple hernias. Hopefully I don't, but I mean, I will say there's a mesh in my body. It's up, so maybe at some point in the future, even 60 years, I might have to get that replaced. Who knows? But right now, I do feel like I am back to my, like, of course, a year later, but I feel like I've been back to my normal kind of everyday training life for probably about 4 or 5 months now. So I'd say probably 6 or 7 months post-surgery. I'm completely fine, no restrictions, no limitations. And a lot of those were self-imposed. Like I said, I purposely did not squat, bench, deadlift, train abs because I was a little bit scared, honestly, more than anything. And now I don't have that fear at all. I feel really good. And yeah, that's kind of like our 1 year update. Of course, if you guys do have questions, please comment on either the surgery videos, the 1 week, 2 week, or now year-long recovery video. Oop, Margot's messing with the camera. Hey, Margot, you want to say hi? And also, we have some new member of the family, Margot. Margot, you want to come here? You want to say hi? Want to say hi? Come here. Come here. Oh. So, since the hernia surgery, also a lot has changed. So this is Margot. She is Katie and my golden retriever. She is 3.5 months old, which is kind of crazy. She's so big now. Like, I mean, look, she's not going to fit even on the camera. She's just too big. So she's absolutely massive. But when I had the hernia, we were living at an apartment over in Covington. Since then, a lot has changed. We've moved over to Hyde Park. We now have a house with a yard, so we got a puppy. And yeah, she's teething, so she's trying to bite my hand right now. But yeah, that's the update. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, like training-wise, completely fine. Life-wise, completely fine. Sleep recovered. Let's see. Yeah, no complications. Like I said, the little marks from the actual robotic arms where those went in is just about it. Hey, let's grab you a toy to chew on, huh? Let's get you your lamb chunk. You want to chew on that? Yeah, there you go. But yeah, like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to respond to every single comment. And if you guys are having surgery, because I assume if you're watching this, you're probably having or had surgery, I wish you a speedy recovery and wish you the absolute best. Trust me, it'll be okay. Trust your surgeon, take care of yourself, listen the best you can to their instructions, and I'm sure you'll have a speedy recovery, and I wish you well. But yeah, I think that's it. What? Oh, and you know what? It's becoming dinner. It's close to dinner time for her, so she's probably getting antsy. Oh, you want to come back up here? Okay. But yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Sorry, I keep fake ending this. I'm just trying to make sure I cover my bases and anything that I've gotten questions about. But yeah, most of the questions I get are kind of like pre-surgery and post-surgery. But yeah, cannot recommend it getting fixed enough. I didn't want to live with that. I'm trying to have to basically hold back a ton from my activities that I wanted to do on a daily basis. And I think surgery was the best choice for me. But of course, talk to your surgeon, talk to your family, your friends, things like that, get professional opinions. But if you can, the laparoscopic mesh surgery that I got seems to be working very well. So I recommend that as well. But yeah, we'll wrap things up here. Say bye to Margot. Yeah. Say bye. She's trying to bite me. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.